Hello again, Marilee Norden with eXp Realty, and I work in Sedona and the Verde Valley of Arizona, as well as the Denver metropolitan markets. This particular video is actually targeted to sellers. If you are getting ready to sell your home, some things that you really want to keep in mind. We're going to talk a little bit about making sure your home is clean, having it staged well and properly. We're going to talk about what to expect when buyers come through your home. And we're going to talk a little bit about what your realtor is going to expect from you so that you know exactly what to expect as you go through the process of getting your home ready to be on the market and having your home on the market. In another video, we'll address things like what happens once you actually have a contract that you've accepted. Okay? All right, so when you're thinking about putting your home on the market, you want to think about all of the things when you're about to be a home buyer yourself, not just a seller. Think about those things that you would expect to see in the homes that you want to buy. Think about the things that you don't want to see in the homes that you are looking to buy. You're not so different from the rest of the world. So, if you don't want to see someone else's grandmother's ashes in an urn on the mantle, please do not have that on yours. Okay? If you don't want to see 32,000 pictures of their kids, nobody wants to see 32,000 pictures of your children either. So keep those things in mind. Here we go. We're going to talk about, first of all, the process of cleaning things up, starting from the outside, working our way in. So from the outside, in your front yard, you want to make sure if you have any dead branches on trees, that those branches are trimmed off and removed. If you can afford to do this with a professional, please do that, because a tree surgeon can really make a big difference in how the tree performs the next year. If you can't do that and you know these branches are dead, get them gone, because they're dangerous. First of all, they could fall onto you, your kids, your dog, your car, your roof, and any of those things are bad, okay? So if you've got dead branches, get rid of dead branches. Any dead plantings, remove them. Anything that needs to be seasonally trimmed back, trim it back. If it's fall and all of your things are dead and it's time to trim them down to, the little nubs, trim them down so that they'll look fresh and ready to come back next year, okay? If it's springtime and you don't have a lawn, to my Denver people, if you can afford to put the sod in and you have a sprinkler system, then do it. It's truly going to help you. If you cannot afford to do it, that's fine, or you don't have a sprinkler system and that's why the lawn croaked. Okay, everybody can understand that. Not everybody wants to go and spend the money on the water, quite frankly. I didn't have a lawn when I lived in Denver because I wouldn't want to deal with the lawn. You can put a weed barrier down over your yard, strategically place some big rocks and large planters with perennials in them, and put mulch over the whole thing. You see it a lot in flips, and it's something that does work, but the reason that it works is because it says, I meant to not have a lawn. But if you have a dead lawn, it says, oh, I made a mistake. So you want to make sure that you look like you meant to do that, okay? On your home itself, if you have chipping, peeling paint, a lot of buyers may be looking at using some sort of an FHA loan or VA loan. If you want to be able to accept every possible buyer into your pool of buyers, you want to make sure that those paint things are not there. You want to have smooth paint. Chipping and peeling paint will, a lot of times the VA or the FHA inspector will come back and say, we can go ahead and do this, but seller, you have to paint the house first anyway. Get it over with. If you've got peeling paint, get out there, sand it, and fix it up. Windows, broken windows, make sure that if you have any broken window panes, you replace them, get those taken care of. One thing that drives people crazy, and I know I've had dogs my whole life, so if you've got dogs and you have screen doors and your screen doors are covered in dog hair, take the screens off and clean them. If the screens are torn because of the dogs, take the screens down to, take those screen frames down to the local hardware store and have them rescreened. Nothing says the house is in disrepair like a bad screen door before you even walk in the house. okay? Garage doors. Garage doors are kind of a big deal. Make sure that your garage door actually matches your house. Make sure that your garage door, if it's got dents and so forth in it, make sure that it's truly functional. Functioning garage doors are paramount. If you can fix it and make it cosmetically aesthetic again, then do that. Going into the house, first things first, people will be knocked out by the smell of your house immediately. So if you use a lot of fragrances, stop. If you have cats, clean up whatever you can to get rid of the smell. Even if you don't think you have cat smell, somebody who does not live with a cat will smell it immediately. Someone who's allergic to cats won't even walk into your house, I promise you. So make sure that smells are taken care of, okay? Once you get into the house, we're going to talk a little bit about staging now. We want to make sure that all of the furniture makes sense. If your furniture is tired, it's worn, it's dated, particularly in the living room, get those covers that go over the sofa and go over the chair. I'm not talking about blankets, I'm talking about the legitimate slip covers. Put the slip covers on because that's going to freshen up your furniture immediately right off the bat. If your home is stark white, I would highly recommend you consider please putting at least one very neutral light gray accent wall, something to bring some depth into the home, okay? Unless all of your home is white. White on white is also very popular. Make sure if you have carpeting, you don't have area rugs on top of the carpeting. Many people walk into a house, they see an area rug on the carpeting, and they assume that there are stains underneath it, and that's why the area rug is there, that you're hiding something. If you have two sofas, choose one and keep one sofa in the living room, unless your living room is absolutely enormous and actually qualifies for two sofas. A sofa, a love seat, a chair, a sofa, and two chairs. Keep it very minimal because what you really want to do is show the square footage of your rooms and show the square footage of your house. People are not interested in buying a cramped little box. They're interested in buying something they can feel themselves breathing in. Okay? It has to instill a sense of calm. In the kitchen, make sure that everything is cleaned out. People will look underneath your cupboards. They want to see the plumbing. They want to see that there's not water damage underneath those cupboards. If you have water damage underneath your cupboards, but you do not have a water problem any longer, take out the bottom of your cupboard and have it replaced with a new bottom. Because that bottom with all of that water damage is a telltale sign of water leakage, and people, the first thing they will assume is that you have an active leak, even if you don't. They're going to look under there, so make sure it's clean and tidy and not stinky and there's no spider webs, okay? When you have your cabinets, or your countertops rather, I'm sorry, they need to be very cleared off. Make sure that people see that they can actually cook a meal in this kitchen, okay? That even if it's a small kitchen and you really only have one countertop surface, those surfaces are hugely important. So you want to make sure that you show as much surface area as possible. So if you have, let's say you have a fantastic KitchenAid mixer, that is a great staging piece. If your kitchen can afford to have that on the counter, it might be the one thing that you want on the counter. If your home is excellent for entertaining because you have a really open kitchen to the great room, to the dining room, it's all very open, go ahead and set out a bottle of wine and a couple of wine glasses, or you know, put your Jim Beam up there with a couple of shot glasses, whatever it might be. Rocks glasses look a little classier, but whatever it might be, so that you're indicating without being overt that this is a great home for entertaining, okay? In my home, I use margarita glasses and a blender because that's what I like. So, so you can do anything like that. You can, in the bedrooms, make sure that your bedrooms are clean and bright. Kiddos' rooms need to be really picked up. People don't want to walk in and trip over toys. If you've got two kiddos sharing a room, go ahead and keep those beds in there. Get those toys picked up. Get them in a toy box or a toy net, whatever it might be. If you've got shelves, make sure that the shelves are not dominating the entire room, because when people see that two kids are sharing a room, they want to be able to see that these kids actually have room for activities in addition to sleeping and books, okay? Now, when you get out back to the backyard, again, make sure same thing applies. If you've got dead grass, deal with it. If you've got a space where you can put some sod in so that you have a space of green grass, maybe I always say it looks like the little putters practice area. Great. And you can do the rest of it with mulch. But make sure that it looks like it's supposed to be like that, not like it's a mistake, okay? Fantastic. When you're cleaning your home, not everybody can get a deep cleaning company to come in and do that. So if you cannot do that, make sure that you get it deep cleaned yourself. Like I said, no schmutz underneath the sofas, no dust bunnies, no marks on the doorknobs. If you go around your home right now and check out every doorknob, you're going to find that at the doorknob and at the door frame where the doorknob sits, you've got handprints. We all do. Clean those handprints off, clean those doorknobs. Make sure that everything is clean, clean, clean. Clean your windowsills. When people come and tour your home, this is the one time that they're really going to look at your windowsills and your window tracks. WD-40 helps your windows slide along those tracks really nicely. It also helps to clean out those window tracks. All that, it's just dust that gets stuck in there. It's dust and various oils. But if you, and it looks a little black in those corners, and you can get that out with a little WD-40. All right, now as far as getting everything else ready to be on the market, you need to be prepared mentally and emotionally. You need to depersonalize your house. When people walk into your home, there's nothing that sends buyers running away more or faster than if they feel like they're invading your space. So make sure there are no photos of family up. If you're going to have artwork on the walls, think of the artwork that you see in office buildings or in doctor's offices. It's very neutral, it's colorful, but it has no subject matter. It's maybe some flowers. It doesn't make a statement, it just is. So you want to make sure that all of those things are taken care of right away. If you've got marks on your wall where you've notched out or made marks where the kids grew up over the years, it's time. You need to sand those out and paint it over. And some of these things can be painful, but remember, you don't want this house anymore. Take photos and keep those memories. But this isn't your home anymore. You want someone else to look at it and feel like it's their home. So all of this depersonalization, it can be very draining on people mentally and emotionally, but you want to do it and you need to do it. All of the things that you have, oh my gosh, this is a big one in Denver. I don't know what it is. I'm from Colorado. That's where I was raised. That's where I'm from. I'm Colorado native. So all of your Broncos stuff, I know we all get issued our Broncos identification number the day we're born in Colorado. But all of those things, your favorite sports teams, your college, wherever you're an alumni from, take it all down. Because you never know, Stanford. Somebody may be coming in who went to Yale, all right? That's all I'm saying. You got your Broncos stuff up, and guess what? The guy who comes through your house is a Raiders fan. It happens, folks, and it does make a difference. And this is from personal experience. If you have your negligee hanging on the door, nobody wants to be in that room. There are assumptions being made about you, about the room, and about the home. They're out of there. Make sure everything is in its place, okay? All right, guys, those are the big things for getting prepared, getting your house on the market. Those are all the things that you will start with before you even get it listed in the MLS. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Again, Marilee at eXp. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.